Hello friends, welcome to this video session on Google Forms for teachers usage. In this video, I'm going to discuss various possibilities of using Google Forms by the teachers. As we know, Google Forms is a very useful tool available for teachers for different purposes. So therefore we can attempt to know why we have to choose Google Forms and how to access Google Form, how can we create it, and also Google Forms for surveys. When I think of why Google Forms, we will find that Google Forms has plenty of uses. I think I need not explain all that. If I just go to any browser for that matter on the concept Google Form, you find, so in the Wikipedia itself you will find the number of uses there for that. It's a part of Google Docs. It can be used for surveys. It can be used for collecting any sort of information. It can also be used for test. It can also be useful to list out the things, collecting things, right? So Google Form is a very useful tool for conducting online surveys or even be in touch with the our users or students in a very real time. So you can contact your students for any information in a very real time, though they may be in distant places. It is possible to respond to your query based on Google Forms so quick. Therefore Google Form is a good platform for us. Then how to access is the thing. So for accessing, I mean to create Google Forms, there are two possibilities. One is to make a Google search. See, for example, you can click on any browser, not just Google, any browser for that matter. But when you do it, for example, here you can see I have made a search of Google Forms, and the details regarding forms and personal use is available here, right? So you can just click on this and you will get access to Google Forms. This window, right? Google .com window. Here you can go to Google Forms. For education business purpose, you can also think of other forms where Google provides you various options. If you click on this, it goes to Google Forms. But I do one thing. Instead of that, I go for my second option, that is actually I mentioned here as Gmail. It's not Gmail. When you're entering Gmail, the Google page, the page which displays, see, I have my Gmail here. When I'm entering that, there are 9 dots here. You can see here. So these are Google apps, right? So you have plenty of, and you can also add some more apps also if needed. You can search for that. So among these Google apps, we have variety of users. You have forums here. I recommend this because when you make a Google search and go for Google Forms, that form opens under this. This is the IQAC mail here under this. But here I can specify it, which mail I want, right? I have 3 emails. I can choose my email, for example, or IQAC, or even I have now IT. So this window is actually logged in as IQAC mail, but I have specified it for my another mail, college mail, IT mail. So I have specified it for that. And if I open now a Google form here, clicking these forms, it will create a form in that account only, right? So sometimes you log into some particular using some particular mail, you will log into a system there. When you open Google form, it creates Google form in the same login account. If you want to specify, the second method is useful. Anyhow, so with that I just go ahead to create the Google form. So second method is clear. First method is to Google search. Now search ಮಾಡಿ ಹುಡುಕಬಹುದು. Second method is to go for these 9 dots next to Gmail before logging into Gmail. Even if you just log into Gmail account ಗೆ ನೀವು ಹೋದರೂ ಕೂಡ these 9 dots are there, ಅಲ್ಲಿರುತ್ತೆ. So if you click on that Google apps, you will find Google Forms somewhere in the list. So let's go to, when you click on that, it goes to Google Docs page, docs.google.com, because Google Forms is a service provided under Google Docs for us. You have to click on blank here. So there creates a blank form. Illondu blank form create aito. See, first task you have to do is to title the form. It is an untitled form. So untitled form. Look at, let me show you one thing. If I title something here, that won't come here, right? Instead, a main title that if I edit there, it automatically comes um, in the bottom. See, you see here, demo form. I'm going to type it as a demo form. I think the demo form, where here I type demo form, it came here. One thing interesting you can observe, all changes saved in Drive. Whatever change you make, that gets saved in Drive automatically. You don't have to save each process, because it's a cloud computing ಆದ ಕಾರಣ ಆಟೋಮ್ಯಾಟಿಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಡ್ರೈವ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಸೇವ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ. In case I don't want this name, I can edit clicking on this, or even Control Z works, right? So I think I can go to sometimes when you add questions and all that, that is possible. Here I can keep the cursor, and I can edit this one if I need any further name, right? So if I need to folder it, a particular folder, next option is helpful for you. You can move it to a folder. For example, I need some folder, that a folder is visible here. See, I have this as a folder, right? It asks me to move here. I moved it. So here onwards, that form will be available in the folder FDP 2021. So I can also make, for my easy access, quick access, the star will be helpful to me, to make it favorite. If you make it favorite, it gets displayed in your Drive in the very top of it, right? ಅದರ ಮೇಲ್ಭಾಗದಲ್ಲಿಯೇ ನಿಮಗೆ ಸಿಗೋದನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು. ಈಗ ನಾವು we have created this one where we don't have any other things that we need to go on adding things. Let's see how. ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು simple form, how to create a simple Google form for information collection. As I told you, Google form. Why Google form? Because it is helpful to create, collect information, surveys, so all the various uses. We will think of create this for information purpose. Okay, so illi nodi, I have titled is over. Here I can specify it, whatever description I needed, that can be given. Illiye kodabodu. One thing I would like to bring to your attention again here is this will be highlighted in big font. If you want to highlight something, it's better if you type here ille kotbidodu better. Say I want to highlight Government First Grade College GFGC Siddakatte, Government First Grade College Siddakatte here. If I write here, it doesn't get displayed in that font. Let me show you. See, if I write GFGC, greetings from GFGC Siddakatte. ನೋಡಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇದನ್ನು ಸಣ್ಣದಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೇನೆ. You can also see here in the preview, it appears like this. ನೋಡಿ, ಫಾಂಟ್ ಸೈಜನ್ನು ನೀವು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ. What I do, instead of that, I want this one in instructions can be given here. I'm sorry, Control Z I'm operating in order to correct the mistake happen. I can Control X in cut ಅನ್ನು ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ Control X ಅನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ನಾನು ಬಳಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೋದು. ಅದು ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಹಾಕಿದರೆ, see, if I paste it here, then it comes here in the big font. ಸೊ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಏನು ಮೊದಲು ಮೇಲ್ಭಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಸೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಕಾಣಬೇಕು, ಆ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ನ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕ್ಬೋದು, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ಯು ಎಂಟರ್ ಹಿಯರ್, ವೆನ್ ಯು ಶೇರ್ ದ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಟು ಸಂಬಡಿ, ದಟ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಟಾಪ್. ದೇರ್ಫೋರ್ identifying keyword is important in the first part. Okay, this is not the right keyword here. Greetings from Siddakatte. I can also cut this again, and I can add my further information here, right? So I go on typing, and then we can put whatever we want at the end, right? That is left to us. Okay, this is about editing the title, right? So then we move on to next. This I don't want to touch now. This is the next thing you need to attend. Customize the theme. Look at this. This is not very attractive. The form is not very attractive. How to make it attractive? So you can go to themes. So under themes, first of all, you can choose a heading for your form, a catchy heading for your form. So you can go for choose an image. You have plenty of themes here, plenty of themes. You can see a list of themes. You can say, for example, sports related. You can choose a theme, right? For example, I have this as the theme for my, there comes the option insert. I inserted it. You can see now the theme, what I inserted appeared here. But I don't want this. I need a personalized theme. Say I want my college name in the heading as image. So that header can be again edited here, or you can upload here. So in the second option, upload. If any available photo is there, you can go with this, for example. So, or you can search here. So upload option, when you keep one photo or something that you want to use in the heading in the PC or in the system where you are creating, you can go for that. You can see I am searching that one. I have a image there. You need to have a JPG image, that is important, or any image file is needed. So when you choose that one, upload that one, here is a line. You can see which area of that image should come there as the heading, not the entire image comes here as the heading. You can set that, right? By moving this arrow mark, you can set that. So I have chosen, because my image contains the title in the top, I have chosen that one. So I did done. You can see the way it gets uploaded. The image changes now, header changes now to the specified one. But you see one error here, right? That is half of the image is available here, because certainly entire image won't come here, right? So how to set this part? That is easy. So what you have to do is you should go for creating image process, right? You should go for a blank slide, and any blank slide, right? In PPT, open your PPT and you go for a blank slide. So what you can do here is you can change this. Certainly you can change this layout. You need a blank page, right? You can go for blank PPT. So now insert the same image here. Go to format background, or even insert is possible here. Insert picture option is available. I think it's better if you go with this device. Insert picture from the device. We chose this one, then. But yeah, I inserted the entire picture now. So we can set this to whatever length we wanted, because you can see then when we uploaded, then now aga upload madidaga this line wasn't clear. That means you can see 1, so 2 to 9 was clear, right? So we can set the image to 2 to 9, for example. Here we can set this one to 2 to 9 like this. So we can make this image in a neat way, 2 to 9. Then you can make like this, for example, the way you want. By you can drag this. Now I save this file as again a JPG file, right? Go to save as. You can choose a place. For example, like I'm going to, instead of PowerPoint presentation, it should be JPG file interchange format. I'm converting this slide into just this one to this slide into image. So my image is now ready and available, right? There's available in the desktop. Okay, now let's come back to our form. So we'll go to this image uploaded and go to upload image and browse for that image that we have just created. And the latest one, earlier image is here, latest demo image is available here. You can see here. Now somehow, though we cannot see it very clearly here, we can again move this and we can attempt to set it there. Let's see whether if it is okay. Now see, there happened edit isn't it? It's clear now, right? You see the entire line, information communication technology usage and teaching is up, is clear now. Okay, so now you have uploaded the header for this form is ready. Next thing is to theme color. It looks very, not very colorful. You can make this colorful by choosing some color like this, readily available theme colors like this. And you can see the some change you can observe, but you can also add custom color, right? Custom color, say I want it in maybe your rose pink color. I can add this one to this form. But you can also see again it is not very dark. How to make dark? Background color can be made dark by three effects here, right? You can go to second one, medium, and this is the highest color you can apply for your thing. Next aspect is this font style appears in a basic format. You can go to basic format. You are given four options here. This is in the basic. You can change that into some other format if you want, font style, or a formal style like this, or you can go with playful style. There are four possible. In this case I'm going to choose playful style. These are the options available under theme options, and we have set the theme now. Okay, our form, a theme for our form has been given now. Now next thing is to decide the question. So I'll go to, yeah, you can see preview, right? Preview. In the meantime, every time you can go to preview and you can see the way form appears to the users or the viewers, who is going to attend it. So there are setting options and all that we see later. And you have a bar. This is to customize your question. You have a option bar here. So let me go to first question. I can add one question here. So since it is a question, it is referred as question because particularly Google form is meant for collecting information in the form of surveys. One can give therefore questions. The question ಆಗಿ ಯಾಕೆ ಹಾಗೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಎ ಸರ್ವೆ ಟೂಲ್. ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನು ಕ್ವಶನ್ನೇ ಹಾಕಬೇಕು ಅಂತಿಲ್ಲ, ನಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾವ್ದು ಬೇಕಾದರೂ ಅನುಕೂಲವಾದದ್ದನ್ನು. ಸೇ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಐ ನೀಡ್ ಇಮೇಲ್. ಓಕೆ, ಇಮೇಲ್ ಬೇಕು, ಯಾರೋ ಒಬ್ರು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನನಗೆ ಅವರ ಇಮೇಲ್ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಇಮೇಲ್. ಆರ್ ಐ ನೀಡ್ ನೇಮ್. Yeah, let me show you email because there are two possibilities of seeking email. So now you ask the email here, but it is not a multiple choice question. You can specify that question as short answer question, right? One has to type their email here now. So it's email, one has to type here, then you can make it required because form cannot move. So let me show you. See, if it is not required in form, it is not mandatory. You can attend or you can drop it. But when you make it required, there comes a star symbol. That is just very usually you see in all documents. This can show you that it is mandatory. Without that, the form will not proceed. Okay, so now we have made it required. And see, I also show you one more aspect here. That is, you can go for response validation. Response validation means you can validate the response here, which one you want, right? Say it is a text, not a number. You can validate it as a text, and what it should contain. It should contain ಏನನ್ನದು contain ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. It should contain email. So I can make it as email. So when you enter like this, yeah, it automatically gets saved. Now let me go to preview and show you. Now only email can be entered here. See, for example, I write IQAC GFGCSK as my thing, but it must be a valid email address. It should end with the domain name. I should mention Gmail, for example. Then it becomes valid. Otherwise it won't proceed, right? You can validate, because why we need it? For collecting information accurately, we need this validation. Otherwise ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, some respondents may answer something else here. Sometimes they type something and you see dummy names and all that. Therefore, you can do that, you can validate it. Another option here itself is description. You can give a description here. So please enter a valid email address. You can specify it, conditions, right? Some conditions needed for this particular question, that can be done. Okay, how? So this is the method you collect the email of the participants, but this is not needed in Google Form. The reason is, when you uh, give this option in setting, that is collect emails, automatically the form collects the emails. See, for example, you can see automatically it collects the email and it shows valid email address, right? So you can change the setting here again, that if not needed, but yeah, you can change that setting here again. If you remove this tick mark, then it doesn't collect the email. But it is better if you go with this one, entering one emails. But then there are cases where people do not have email, and they cannot create one at the moment. You want to make it very flexible. ನಮಗೆ ಇಮೇಲೇ ಬೇಡ ಅಂತ ಆದರೆ ಯು ಡೋಂಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಕೀಪ್ ದಿಸ್. ಬಟ್ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್, ಒಂದು ಸಾರಿ ಇದನ್ನು ಹಾಕಿದರೆ, ವೆನ್ ಯು ಆ್ಯಡ್ ದಿಸ್ one one has to enter email address and proceed, otherwise it won't take, because it's naturally an compulsory question. So then let's go to setting. Further option here is that you can also give response receipt. When people submit the Google form, you can give them a receipt for their memory, for their document. So here you can set it always, whenever people enter your form, they get the receipt, or only when they respond it. When you respond, when the thing is for responded, see, if I do like this is possible only in the case when people can opt it, right? If they want, they'll get this option, I want, send me a copy of my response. Otherwise no, ಅವರಿಗೆ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಇದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ, ರೈಟ್? ಬೇಕಾದರೆ ತೊಗೊಳ್ಬೋದು, ಬೇಡ. ಯಾಕೆ ಇದನ್ನು ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಇಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ, ಸಮ್ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ಯು ಸಿ ದ ಸೆಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ರಿಸೀವಿಂಗ್ ಇಮೇಲ್ ಕೌಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಅದನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಆ ರೀತಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೋದು. ನಾಟ್ ನೆಸಸರಿ ಟು ವರಿ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಫ್ಲೆಕ್ಸಿಬಲ್. ಸಮ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಡೂ ನಾಟ್ ವಾಂಟ್ ದಿಸ್. ಇಫ್ ದೇ ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇಟ್, ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ they can get a receipt of it. And sometimes people submit the form repeatedly. In order to avoid that, you can limit it to one response. Here responses will be required to sign into Google account only. ಅವರ ಫೋನ್ ಅಥವಾ ಇದರಿಂದ ಸಬ್ಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದರೆ, they can submit only one response using the Google account. So they have to go for some other gadget or some other Google account to submit the next one. And there are other options under general features also, that is, they can edit after submit. Sometimes people need to edit ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ, ಸಬ್ಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ there happens some error. You can give them option to edit after submit. One has to be very careful while choosing these options, because some information where editing cannot be given. You want first time submission as the final one. Their editing is not possible. Test, for example, test submit ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅಥವಾ ಯಾವುದೋ ಸರ್ವೇದು ಸಬ್ಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅವ್ರ ಮನಸ್ಸು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆದಾಗೆ ಎಡಿಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅವಕಾಶ ಕೊಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ದಟ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಯು ಡೋಂಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಕೀಪ್ ಇಟ್ ಎಡಿಟ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸಿ ಸಮ್ಮರಿ ಚಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಸ್, ಇದನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ ಸಬ್ಮಿಟ್ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಸಿ, ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ ದ ಸಮ್ಮರಿ ಚಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್, ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಸಬ್ಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ನಾಟ್ ನೆಸಸರಿ ಫಾರ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಾಂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ದೀಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸೇವ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಸೆಟ್ಟಿಂಗ್. ಬಟ್ ಆ್ಯಸ್ ಐ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ಯು, one collection of email is made here, second is irrelevant. So what I can do is, this sentence, this question can be changed as name of the participant. See, I'm collecting information of the name of the participant. Here I need to change this also. Please enter the details as per official records. This is important because sometimes people may write some nickname or something. it's better, right? Even while generating certificates for in email, when you have this instruction here, they will enter the name in correct way, and so that they can get the correct certificate also. ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತಪ್ಪು ಎಂಟರ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ರೆ ನೇಮನ್ನು, ದೇ ವೋಂಟ್ ಗೆಟ್ ದ certificate if we attach to the Google Forms. Not possible. As I told you earlier, one of the uses of certificate, Google Forms is to generate certificates after collecting data or conducting test and all that. Anyhow, now it is text, true, but it is not email. So I have to change it as it contains or doesn't contain. It contains something, I can say. It doesn't contain something, I can say. These are the conditions. If it is URL, they have to upload some URL. You have to link to something other URL. You can choose that. I just contains, and I just make it as a text. But I can also custom it if needed. ಎರರ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಏನಾದರೂ ತಪ್ಪಾದರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ನಾನು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಲೆಟರ್ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಹೆಸರು, ಯಾವುದೋ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಕೊಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ, ಇಫ್ that particular if there is a possibility of some error in that text, that can be given here. Anyhow, it's clear, it's text, right? They cannot enter number here. Therefore I'll show you once again that email address is collected, and you see here in the name of the participant they cannot enter number. If they enter number, must contain text is the way it becomes. So you can keep your Google form under your control by using all these techniques, right? So anyhow, then we move on to one question is over, that we collected name of the participant. So now you want to create next question. You don't have to go for a new question, all that. You can also copy this one, duplicate this question. Option is available to duplicate. So this very symbol indicates duplication, and this is to delete. If you don't want, you can delete that question. So even if you have that, you have undo option again to recover, or you can also go with manually. That is, as I told you, manual undo is also possible. Okay, so I copied my question, I duplicated it. Let's edit it for further details. So we have entered that. Now I need to collect, for example, it's just some name of the state or something, or I need designation as my next details. For example, I want I'm using this one for some official purpose, teachers collection. In this FDP itself, I need to collect some information. I can use designation as the next thing. So I have made here, please enter details as per official records. That is copied as it is from that, and it's a text, contain text, true. But I can change this into another type of option also. Here, when you go for that, they have to type their designation. Sometimes you can make it even more handy with certainly not multiple choices, because one designation is possible for someone. Check boxes is also possible, but they get multiple options. They can check 2-3 boxes. You can go for drop down option. See, I want my participant. I know that my participants are assistant professors, assistant professors, or and I know that my participant, it should be singular, they are teachers or they're professors. I have given some options for them, right? Here we can give some options for them. You can list so many here. ಇನ್ನೂ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ಬೋದು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ add option ಇದೆ ನಿಮಗೆ. You can click on that, you can add one more. You can click on that, you can add one more, right? So ಈ ಥರ, right? You can also delete. If you don't want, you can delete that, right? Into mark, right? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ, you can delete option, right? ಅದನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. And it is required, right? required ಆಗಿದೆ. And you see ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಅವರು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಇದೇ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಶಫಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ರೈಟ್? ಶಫಲ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್, ಇಫ್ ಯು ಟಿಕ್ ಆನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಶಫಲ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್, sometimes it displays assistant professor in the top, sometimes it is professor in the top. ಈ ಥರ ಬರೋದನ್ನು ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು. But you don't want shuffle. For example, I'll show you. See, in this case, in my first observation, you can see designation, and you have assistant professor, teachers, and okay. Let's see one more time. Will it change? Let's see, will it change? So in this case, teachers came to the top, assistant professor, professor. You can see the way answer shuffling. Why do we need this shuffling option? Yeah, if you want to make, in case if you are using Google form, a test or something, quiz, test, ಇದಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ನೀವು ಬಳಸ್ಕೊತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ shuffling will make the, you know, entire form little bit challenging. One cannot copy from others. You can avoid it as much as possible. So that duplication is not possible. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಮೇಕ್ ಎವ್ರಿ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಲಿಟಲ್ ಬಿಟ್ ಯೂನಿಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ಬೋದು. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು, ನಿಮಗೆ ಡೆಸಿಗ್ನೇಷನನ್ನು ಈಗ ರೆಕ್ವೈರ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಿ, ಬಟ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಎ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಮೊದಲು ಗೋ ಟು ದ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಆನ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಅಂತಲೂ ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದು. ಅದನ್ನು ಐಲ್ ಶೋ ಯು ಲೇಟರ್. So anyhow, you find these are the drop downs I have given. This is known as drop down question, right? You have options to do. Very useful option. You can say, for example, at the end of this FDP, if I need to give my final test form to final qualifier form for e-certificate, I can make it closed one by using drop down option. All the participants name can be pasted here. Any number of names can be pasted here. If it is 500 names, I can paste all the 500 names here, and they will get it in the drop down alphabetically. If I paste alphabetically, it comes as it is. A to Z ವರೆಗೆ ನಾನು ಆಲ್ಫಾಬೆಟಿಕಲಿ ಪೇಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಅವರ ಹೆಸರನ್ನು ಹುಡುಕಿಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಕೆಲವೊಮ್ಮೆ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಬರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಆದರೆ ಮಾಡುವಂಥ ಸಂದರ್ಭ ಯಾವುದು ಅಂದರೆ, ಯು ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ರಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಟು ಸಮ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಪೀಪಲ್, ಆಗ. ಅಥವಾ ಇಲ್ಲಿಯೂ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ರಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಟು ದೀಸ್ ಡೆಸಿಗ್ನೇಷನ್ಸ್. ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟುಡ್? ಓಪನ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್. ಅದರ್ವೈಸ್ short answer is open option. But when you go to multiple choice, you give different choices here. So here you need to, this is possible in a question, for example. When you want to give a quiz question, for example, you can go with multiple choice. 4 options na kotirtiri, one is the correct answer. You can also make it possible one correct answer, but here correct answer option is not available because this form is just to collect information, not as a quiz. I am going to show you how to make it as a quiz or test form ಆಗಿ ಹೇಗೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ಮುಂದೆ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ತೇನೆ. ಬಹುಶಃ ನಿಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ, ಬಟ್ ಐ ರಿವೈಸಿಂಗ್ ದ ಥಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ ಎನಿಹೌ, ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪಲ್ ಚಾಯ್ಸ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಈಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಟ್. ಚೆಕ್ ಬಾಕ್ಸಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಟು ಚೆಕ್, ರೈಟ್? 2-3 ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಸೇ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ನೋಡಿ, ಐ ಗೋ ಟು ಮೈ ಪ್ರಿವ್ಯೂ. So you will find here that you have check box options. You can check 2-3. In some cases you need to check 2-3. For example, you are collecting some information about the number of classes attended by students ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. See, ಒಂದು class 1, class 2, class 3, class 4 ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತೀರಿ. If they are absent to any one class, they cannot check that. They can avoid checking that. Attended ಅನ್ನು ಅವರು ಟಿಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಯಾವುದೇ 4-5 ಅಂಶಗಳನ್ನಿದ್ದಾಗ ಚೆಕ್ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಯೂಸ್ಫುಲ್ ಒನ್. ಸೊ ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ 4 ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ಯಾರಾಗ್ರಾಫ್ ಇದೆ. ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ರೈಟ್ ಈವನ್ ಪ್ಯಾರಾಗ್ರಾಫ್ಸ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ನೋಡಿ, ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ಲಿ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟ್ ಸಮ್ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್, ಟು ಸಮ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್, a very effective test using this, because they can also submit even a paragraph, type it and submit it in the real time itself, right, using Google form. Short answer, paragraph, there are 5 options available for you to decide the nature of question. Then in case you need upload, this is not a details. Let me give you one example. Let me copy this question. Now in this case it is not a checkbox. We can make it as a drop down question, because we have thing. I don't want even to keep it drop down, because let it be open for them to enter the designation. ಬಟ್ ಅಕ್ಯುರಸಿ ಬೇಕಿದ್ದಾಗ ನಿಮಗೆ, ಸಪೋಸ್ ಸಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದೆಮ್ ಯಾರೋ ಒಬ್ಬರು ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಲೆಟರ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಥವಾ ಇನ್ನೇನೋ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಆಗ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಗಿವ್ ಡ್ರಾಪ್ ಡೌನ್ ಇಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್. ದಟ್ಸ್ ದ ಥಿಂಗ್. ಲೆಟ್ ಮಿ ಕಾಪಿ ದ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಒನ್ಸ್ ಅಗೇನ್. ಹೌ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ. ಸೊ ಮೈ ಕಾಪಿ ಈಸ್ ಓವರ್. ಲೆಟ್ ಮಿ ಶೋ ಯು. ಸಿ, ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಶಫಲ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಆನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸ್ ವ್ಯಾಲಿಡೇಷನ್, ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಷನ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇದೆ. ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪಲ್ ಚಾಯ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಇಲ್ಲಿಯೂ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಮಲ್ಟಿಪಲ್ ಚಾಯ್ಸ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಹೋದ ಕೂಡಲೇ we don't have shuffle answer. We have discount and response validation as text. We stay there. So when come to the next one, okay, we will go to our third question. See, I want to I want particular information as a image, something that they have to submit assignment ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, right? ಅಥವಾ some photo that they have to upload. So here I can give this an option of upload image. See, as I told you, file upload ಅನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಡ್ಬೋದು. So when they upload it, it asks a question. Nodi, files will be uploaded to the form one's Google Drive. All the documents here, whatever comes to you, even if you attach when you attach a spreadsheet also, that will be saved in the Google Drive itself. You can give continue therefore, there upload it to Google Drive. So you can give allow how many files. That is another thing. File upload nalli maximum number of files ಎಷ್ಟು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. You can now give them option to upload 2-3 files. Allow only specific file type. ಇದನ್ನು ನೀವು ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫೈ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಡಾಕ್ಯುಮೆಂಟು, ಪಿ ಡಿ ಎಫು, ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಡ್ಶೀಟು. ಸೊ ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ವೀಡಿಯೋಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ ತುಂಬ ಆಗಿಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ ಮೆಮೊರಿ, ನಾಟ್ ನೆಸಸರಿ. ಸೊ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಡೂ ಇಟ್, ರೈಟ್? ಆರ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಷನ್ನು ಈ ಥರ, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ನಾವು ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅಲೋಡ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಫೈಲ್, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ರಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಟ್ ದ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ ಸೈಜ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. 10 MB ಫೈಲನ್ನು ಅಪ್ಲೋಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, 1 MB ಫೈಲ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ರಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಥಿಂಕ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಟ್, ವಾಟ್ can be done ಅನ್ನೋದು, because any choice here may affect the form also. Sometimes you have 1 MB ಅಂತ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀರಿ. So your PDF file or Word file is more than 1 MB, that never gets uploaded, ಆಗೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಆಗ ನೀವೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ, 10 MB. ಹಾಗಂತ ನೀವು ಇದನ್ನು 100 MB 1 GB ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಯಾರೋ ಇಡೀ ಒಂದು ಬುಕ್ಕನ್ನೇ ಅಪ್ಲೋಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಆಗ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಡ್ರೈವ್ ತುಂಬಿ ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ, ರೈಟ್? ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಥಿಂಕ್. ದೆನ್ ಸೊ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ again description option to describe the thing. ಯಾವ ಥರದ ಫೈಲ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಅಪ್ಲೋಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ you can describe it. As usual, you can describe this. Please entire details as per official records is also applicable here. So this is for file upload. ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಫೈಲನ್ನು ನೀವು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸರ್ವೆ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಫೋಟೋವನ್ನು ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಅವ್ರು ನೋಡಿ ಅದನ್ನು ಹೇಗೆ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ you can observe here. So you can see in preview. So in the third question, the last third question, you can add a file. ಈ ಥರ ಬರುತ್ತದು, ಅಸೈನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಯುವರ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್, ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಫೈಲ್ಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್, ಆರ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಮೈ ಡ್ರೈವ್ ಈಸ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್. ಎರಡು ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಅದು ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಯು ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಡೂ ಇಟ್, ರೈಟ್? ಎನಿ ಹೌ, ಸೊ ದೆನ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗೋ ಟು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ. ಸೇ ಯು ವಾಂಟ್ ಎ ಫೀಡ್ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಆನ್ ದಟ್. ಸೇ ಲೆಟ್ ಮೀ go with another option. I just copied the same question once again. See, I want a feedback ಬೇಕು. ಫೀಡ್ಬ್ಯಾಕನ್ನು ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪಲ್ ಚಾಯ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಒಂದು 4 ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಮೇಕ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಯು ಸೇ ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಎ ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್ information, or it's just a good information, or it is just average information, or it is poor one, it doesn't contain much valuable thing. itara ittu. So you can also make it like 4 options are given here. You have another option here, that is to specify different linear scale ಆಗಿ ಹೋಗ್ಬೋದು, ಅದನ್ನು ರೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ರೇಟಿಂಗ್ 1 to 5 ಅಲ್ಲಿ. Or you can also go for multiple choice grid. You can choose multiple choice grid. You can see here multiple choice grid ಗೆ ನೋಡಿ, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಅನ್ನು ನೀವು ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ, say I'll go with this one. You give options in the right side, column ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀರಿ, ರೋಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, your opinion of the sessions. I'm going with this one. I have 4 options again, same options. For example, first one is very good. Sorry, you can go with other options also. Then good, then average, then poor. So I have 4 options. My next question is, again, I have the same options for every question now. I can say your opinion of the session. That's over, right? So I need your opinion of the resource person. You can also specify it as resource person's communicative skills, his presentation skills. Specify ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ 2 ಕ್ವೆಶನನ್ನು ನಾನು ಹಾಕಿದೆ. ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಗೋ ಆನ್ ಆ್ಯಡಿಂಗ್ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದೀಸ್. ಫೀಡ್ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದು, ಮಲ್ಟಿಪಲ್ ಚಾಯ್ಸ್ ಗ್ರಿಡ್ನಲ್ಲಿ. ಲೆಟ್ ಮಿ ಗೋ ಟು ಪ್ರಿವ್ಯೂ. ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ ನೌ ಹೌ ಇಟ್ ಚೇಂಜಸ್. ಸಿ ಯುವರ್ ಒಪಿನಿಯನ್, ರೈಟ್? ಈ ಥರ ಆಯಿತು. ಫೀಡ್ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಈಸ್ ಎಸೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಅಂತ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದೀವಿ ನಾವು, ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ ಎ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ಇದನ್ನು ಹಾಕಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ಇದನ್ನು ನಾನು ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಐ ಡಿಂಟ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್. ದಿಸ್ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಸ್ ಒನ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸ್ ಪರ್ ರೋ. ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು, ರೈಟ್? ಅದನ್ನು ನೀವು ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಲಿಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ಮೇಲೇ ಅದು ಮುಂದೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ದಟ್ಸ್ ದ ಥಿಂಗ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಸಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಪಾಸಿಬಿಲಿಟೀಸ್ ಇನ್ collecting information. You can also change it into different tick boxes is other possibility. Here you have variety of things. Tick boxes sigodag enagutte, opinion of the session ಗೆ 2-3 tick ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, right? That is not possible, not good for this context. Okay, this is the thing. Okay, I can keep it as a multiple session. I want that to be last, ಕೊನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಕು ಫೀಡ್ಬ್ಯಾಕು. ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮೊದಲು ನನಗೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಬೇಕು. ಸೇ ಐ ವಾಂಟ್ ಡೇಟ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಅಥವಾ ಏನಾದರೂ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಮೇಕ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಎ ಡೇಟ್ ಆಫ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇನ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್, ಡೇಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಬ್ಮಿಷನ್. ನೋಡಿ, ಆಟೋಮೆಟಿಕಲಿ ವೆನ್ ಐ ಟೈಪ್ ಡೇಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್, ಇಟ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಆಸ್ ಡೇಟ್, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದಟ್ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈಸ್ ಥ್ರೂ ಆರ್ಟಿಫಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಇಂಟೆಲಿಜೆನ್ಸ್. ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ ಡೇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಆಪ್ಷನ್. ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಟೈಮ್ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಟೈಮನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಸೇರಿಸ್ಬೋದು, ಯಾವ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಸಬ್ಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ಅಂತ. ದಟ್ಸ್ ಅದರ್ ಥಿಂಗ್. ಡೇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಪಾಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ. So when you add the date, you see day, month, year, right? Day, month, year format nallide. We show you it in the preview. See, when I go to the preview, you will find that my date 16, for example, today appears as 16/8/2021. But this may not appear in your form always. Hige barde irbodu. This depends on the date you set for your account. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಈ ಗೂಗಲ್ ಅಕೌಂಟಿಗೆ the date you set for your format you set for your Google account, that you go to, you have to set it as a Indian format ಅಥವಾ ಎನಿ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಯಾಟ್. ಅದನ್ನು ಚೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ನೀವು. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ, ಅದರ್ವೈಸ್ ಇದು ಹೀಗೆ ತೋರಿಸ್ಬೋದು 8/16/2021 ಅದರ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಯಾಟಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ಬೋದು. ಅದನ್ನು ಸರಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಗೋ ಟು ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ ಯುವರ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ and in the setting you have to set the date and time format. ಅದನ್ನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. That's the thing. I don't want to touch that now. Okay, anyhow, likewise you did all these things, right? I mean different possibilities of asking information. A simple form is ready here. Once you have made all these things, I think we need to add some more questions. I don't want to go ahead. I think it's clear with these options. Very basic options are clear. So you can also setting you can make some other things. So ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಷನ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀರಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಅವ್ರು ಸಬ್ಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ. ಓಕೆ, ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಐ ಆಮ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಶೋ ಯು ಹೌ ಟು ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಅದನ್ನು ಕೊಡ್ತೇನೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ವಿಡಿಯೋ. ಸಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಶೋ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಬಾರ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಎಷ್ಟು ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಏನೋ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಬಾರನ್ನು ಅದು ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, ರೈಟ್? ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ನೋಡಿ, ವೆನ್ ಯು ಗೋ ಟು ಪ್ರಿವ್ಯೂ, ವೆನ್ ಯು ಕ್ಲಿಕ್ ಆನ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್, in the preview in the bottom you will find the progress bar ಎಷ್ಟಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ. if there are 3-4 pages, it will show 1 of 3 pages ಹೀಗೆ ತೋರಿಸುತ್ತೆ. okay, that's very useful to know for the one who want to submit, to know how many pages are left in the submission. ಅದು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತದೆ. okay, that's why you can definitely click on which one, second, presentation. you go to settings, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಷನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ you can show progress bar. And you can shuffle the question order. Shuffle the question order yavaga? When you shuffle the question order shuffles here, right? Let me show you in the preview. The first question here is, you can see, the first question here is designation. Name barle illa, right? Email il hegu barutte, designation. Adan bittu next time bere kada hodre, say another preview hogta iddene. You can also see here that this time it is name of the participant. Next time something else come, date would come here, right? ಇದನ್ನು ಯಾಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೋದು? This kind of shuffling question will be helpful for you to, when you are conducting quiz or test ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಕ್ವಿಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ, you can make it little bit competitive, I mean tough, by shuffling the question order also. You can make even them avoid copying ಆಗೋದ ಹಾಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕ್ ಇದು. ಈಗ 50 ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಇದೆ ಅಥವಾ 25 ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಇದೆ. ಇಫ್ ಇಟ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಶಫಲಿಂಗ್, ದೇ ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಶೇರ್ ವಿತಿನ್ ದ ಸ್ಟಿಪ್ಯುಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಟೈಮ್, ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ, ರೈಟ್, ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟ್. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಶಫಲಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಸರ್ಟನ್ಲಿ ಶಫಲಿಂಗ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಎ ಗುಡ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಫಾರ್ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ನಿಗೂ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯದಲ್ಲ. ಮತ್ತು ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಜನರೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಸರ್ಟಿಫಿಕೇಟ್, ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಟಿಕ್ ಶಫಲಿಂಗ್, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ನೇಮ್ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಮಾಡುವಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಕೆಲವೊಮ್ಮೆ ಅವರ ನೇಮ್ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ನೇಮ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸಲ್ಲಿ ಡೆಸಿಗ್ನೇಷನ್ ಬಂದರೆ ದೇ ರೈಟ್ ದ ನೇಮ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಡೆಸಿಗ್ನೇಷನ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್. ದೇರ್ ಇಫ್ ಡ್ರಾಪ್ ಡೌನ್ ಇಸ್ ದೇರ್, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಓಕೆ. If drop down is not there, then it will lead to confusion. That's the thing. Anyhow, so after submission, you give one confirmation message, right? When somebody submits a email, then you give one confirmation message. For example, you say after submitting some information, you say congratulations. Yeah, you say congratulations. You have successfully submitted. See, thank you. You can add that, right? For example, so in this case, this message gets displayed once the submission is made. ಕೊನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸಬ್ಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೊನೆಗೆ ಬರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಇದಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಗಿವ್ ಸೇವ್ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಹಿಯರ್, ರೈಟ್. ಇಟ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಸೇವ್ಡ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆಟೋಮೆಟಿಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಸೇವ್ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಸೆಟ್ಟಿಂಗ್ನಲ್ಲಿ. ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್, ಸೆಟ್ಟಿಂಗ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಡೂ, ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಸೇವ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ಯುವಲಿ ಸೇವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕ್ವಿಜ್ ಈಸ್ ದ, ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೆಟ್, ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಾದರೆ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಗೋ ಫಾರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಒನ್. ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಸಿ ದಟ್ ಇನ್ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ವಿಡಿಯೋ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಎನಿಹೌ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಈಸ್ ರೆಡಿ ನೌ. ಸೊ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ರೆಡಿ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಬಟ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸ್ ಬಂದರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಬೇಕದು? ಫೀಲಿಂಗ್ ಯು ನೀಡ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಸ್. ಇನ್ ದ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ಡ್. ಸೇ ಇದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ಮೆಂಟನ್ನು ನೀವು ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಡ್ಶೀಟ್, ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಎ ನ್ಯೂ ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಡ್ಶೀಟ್ ವಿತ್ ದಿಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಯು ಗಿವ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟನ್ನು ಕೊಡ್ತೀರಿ. ಸೊ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ ನೌ ದಟ್ all the columns and all the questions you added there appear here in the spreadsheet. This is very useful spreadsheet that also gets saved along with the form in the drive. Very useful because it provides several tools for your analysis of the data that we are going to see in next one of the videos, how to analyze a Google form data. Adannu kuda nodona, data analysis. See, you can see time stamp ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಇಷ್ಟೊತ್ತಿಗೆ ಅವರು ಸಬ್ಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇಮೇಲ್ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಇದು ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ. ದೆನ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟಿಕ್ಡ್ ಇಮೇಲ್ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್, ಆಟೋಮೆಟಿಕ್ಲಿ ಇದು ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ನೇಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಸಿಪೆಂಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದೇರ್, ಡೆಸಿಗ್ನೇಷನ್, ಡೇಟ್, ಅಸೈನ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಆಲ್ ದೀಸ್ ಹೆಡ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಟು ಜನರೇಟ್ ಇವನ್ ಸರ್ಟಿಫಿಕೇಟ್ ಜನರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೂ ಕೂಡ ಈ ಹೆಡ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋ ಇದು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಲೆಟ್ ಮಿ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ದಿಸ್. ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ ದೇರ್ ಫಾರ್ 0 responses. Now I haven't submitted. If I go to preview and attempt one response, probably ಒಂದು ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸನ್ನ ನಾನು ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದರೆ, ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದರೆ ಅದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಶೋ ಯು ಒನ್ ಮೋರ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ವಾಂಟ್ this part to be a part of this first page itself. ಬೇಡ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ನಿಸ್ತು ನನಗೆ. ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಮೇಕ್ ಇಟ್ ಎಸ್ ಎ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ರೈಟ್? ದಿಸ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ಸ್ different section now. So this I think I can copy to, I can drag. Nodi, you can see this one. I can bring this one here like this, adding it to the section 2. My question in the section 1, by just when I keep the cursor on the, when I move my cursor, I get this plus kind of symbol, and long press on that will move the question. So you can see here, long press on that will move the question. I have added here that one. So now I make this section as feedback section idu nanage, right? So I can add a description. Kindly give your feedback. I can add anything further ಮತ್ತೆ ಬೇರೆ ಸೇರಿಸಬಹುದು. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಕೆಲವು ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ವಿಸಿಬಲ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಡೂಪ್ಲಿಕೇಟ್ ದ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಒನ್ಸ್ ಅಗೇನ್. ಇಡೀ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ನೇ ಡೂಪ್ಲಿಕೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇಕಾದರೆ. ಆಲ್ ದ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಕಮ್ ಅಗೇನ್. ಮೂವ್ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ 1 to 2. ಇದು 2 ಇದೆ, ಇದನ್ನೇ 1ನೇ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಮೂವ್ ಇಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ 1 to 2. sorry, 2 to 1, delete section, don't want, I can delete it. I can merge it with the above section. It will become one section only. Now when I went to this one, so you see, when I went to this one, I have one more option now. That option is at the end of this, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ, ಅದೇನು, ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಟು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಕ್ಷನನ್ನು ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲಿದೆ, ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಟು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಕ್ಷನನ್ನು ನಾನು ಗೋ ಟು ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ 1 ಹೋಗಬೇಕು, ಅದಾದಮೇಲೆ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ 2ಗೆ ಹೋಗಬೇಕು, ಅಥವಾ ಸಬ್ಮಿಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಏನು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ನಾನು ಇದು ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ 1 ಡೆಮೋ ಫ್ರಮ್ ICT 1 ಇದೆ. ಸೊ go to section 2a restrict ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. That means after the completion of the first section it will go to section 2. See here I have a short answer question. Illi you have another option that, yeah, you will see here. I don't want this as assignment. I go for short answer question. I want question here. Have you read the instructions? Is my confirmation I'm seeking from the submitting participants. If I give some instructions here, usually you can give instructions in the form here. Ille ನೀವು instructions na type ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ನೀವು ಯಾವುದೇ instructions related to something ಇದೆ ಅಂದರೆ you can type all the instructions here, right? So ಅದನ್ನು ನೀವು ಓದಿದಾರೋ ಇಲ್ವೋ ಅಂತ ಕೆಲವೊಮ್ಮೆ ಓದದೇ ಹೋಗ್ಬೋದು, right? To make that confirmation you can give this one. Here you can keep certainly multiple choice option of yes or no. ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನು ನೀವು ಮತ್ತೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸ್ ವ್ಯಾಲಿಡೇಷನ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಗೋ ಟು ದ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಆನ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್. ಯಾವ ಥರ, ಎಸ್ ಬಂದರೆ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ ಓದಿದರೆ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಟು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್. ಫ್ರಮ್ ವಿಚ್ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್? ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಟು ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ 2. ಇಫ್ no is the answer, it stays in the section 1 itself. ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಉಳಿಬೇಕು, ಮುಂದೆ ಹೋಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ರು ಓದಬೇಕು. ಹಾಗೆ ನೀವು you can make it as a restriction. So that is other possibility. So you can, what you have to do, you go here and you go to section based on answer. This is visible only in short answer questions. Remember, short answer question alide, dear professor, you can remember it is only in short answer questions. So here you can add this one and make it so. Anyhow, that's it for today's discussion, and a simple form is ready now. Once people submit the thing, they can get the even end. So you see one more thing, you can see unless they tick yes, it won't move after filling even all these details. ಅಲ್ವಾ, ನೋಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಹಿಂಡ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಇರೋದು, ಇದು ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಫೈಲ್ ಇಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಂಡೇಟರಿ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ unless they upload something, it won't move. These are some of the possibilities in Google Form. So we have made one good possibility of Google Form for collecting information. Let's see how to make this as a quiz and a test forum for our students in the next video. See you in the next video.